The biting wind whipped through Wall Street, a concrete canyon where ambition echoed in every hurried footstep. Young hotshot, Jake, strutted in bespoke Italian, Wall Street swagger dripping from his Rolex. He felt like king of the asphalt jungle, each power stride a dismissal of the city's less fortunate. Turning onto Broadway, always a human river, his eyes locked on the same down and out every morning. A grizzled old man hunched against a building, cardboard sign at his worn shoes. Weathered hands, haunted eyes, a silent story Jake never wanted to read. Rough life, huh? Jake sneered, voice laced with Wall Street ice. Didn't quite make it, did you? He barked a laugh, feeling a cheap thrill of superiority, then vanished into the weekday surge. The old man, silent, watched Jake's retreating back, a flicker of something unreadable in his gaze. A prickle of unease, unexpected and unwelcome, nipped at Jake's confidence. Dismissing it, he dove into the day's deals, the feeling fading like a forgotten stock tip. Morning after morning, same cruel script. Jake's taunts, the old man's silence, the unsettling gaze that lingered just a beat too long. It became a twisted ritual, a daily ego boost for Jake. He'd leave his penthouse, stride towards his glass tower office, and brace himself for his warped morning entertainment. There he'd be, the old guy, same spot, same worn clothes, those eyes that felt like they saw right through the Armani facade. Morning, loser, Jake would blast, stopping inches from the man. Still breathing, thought the city had chewed you up and spit you out by now. Malice dripped from each word, a cruel smile plastered on his face. His laughter, sharp and arrogant, bounced off the skyscrapers, swallowed by the city's roar. Silence from the old man. His eyes, though weary beyond words, held a strange calm, watching Jake with an almost unnerving focus. Sometimes, a slight tilt of the head, like he was listening to something Jake couldn't hear. Jake would swagger off, pumped up, king of his concrete castle. Humiliating the old man felt like a twisted confirmation of his own power, his control. Yet, those eyes. Even in board meetings, deals swirling, that image would flash, the old man silent on the Broadway sidewalk. A discomfort he couldn't shake. Something in the silence, in that gaze, felt like a hidden message, a truth Jake couldn't decipher, and it gnawed at him. The cycle spun on until Wall Street itself started to crack. Unexpected losses, deals collapsing, the market twitchy. Jake's unshakable confidence began to fray. Unbeknownst to Jake, the invisible man on Broadway had a ghost in his past. Once, he was Robert, a name swallowed by the streets. A titan of finance, a Park Avenue address, a family bathed in golden light. Scholarship kid, Ivy League, rocketed to the top. Admiration, envy, the whole glittering package. Married to Sarah, his North Star, kids, a son, Ethan, a daughter, Lily. His world, built on ambition and love, shattered in a heartbeat. Highway pileup. Sarah, Lily, gone. Ethan, already teetering, plunged into darkness. Drugs, dead-end streets, a parent's worst nightmare unfolding. Robert, drowning in grief, watched Ethan slip away, then lost him too. Overdose. Heart ripped raw, soul hollowed out, Robert turned to the bottle, a desperate anesthetic. The slide was swift, brutal. Career imploded, fortune vanished. Park Avenue became a Broadway bench. Invisible, just another ghost in the city's restless soul. But even in the gutter, flickers of humanity sparked. A shared sandwich, a kind word, a stranger's fleeting smile, tiny embers in the ashes. They kept him flickering, even against Jake's daily verbal assaults. Robert saw past the tailored suits, the power watch, the Wall Street swagger. He saw a void in Jake, a frantic need to prove something, a fear masked by arrogance. Robert endured, dignity intact, knowing true wealth wasn't measured in dollars, but in compassion. And slowly, subtly, he saw a shift in Jake. A flicker of something in his eyes, a hesitation in his taunts, a crack in the Wall Street armor. One crisp New York morning, Jake, power walk in full swing, prepared his usual Broadway performance. But as he neared the corner, something was different. Robert's head lifted, weary eyes fixing directly on Jake. A gaze piercing, unnerving, like an X-ray of Jake's soul. For a frozen moment, eyes locked. A tremor in Jake's chest, a disquiet he couldn't name. It felt like Robert saw something hidden, a vulnerability Jake buried deep. Then, Robert's voice, raspy but steady, cut through the city noise. "You think you're better than me?" Not a challenge, just a question. Jake, blindsided, stammered, words failing him. Exposed, vulnerable, a feeling alien and terrifying. Robert's eyes held him captive, peeling back layers of Wall Street bravado, touching the raw fear beneath. Jake broke the gaze, bolted, Broadway swallowing him whole. The discomfort clung, Robert's question echoing in his skull. "You think you're better than me?" What was it in that gaze? He felt seen, undermined, his carefully constructed superiority crumbling. The office, a glass and steel cage of ambition, felt oppressive. Colleagues, the usual sharks, seemed to eye him differently. The market jitters were contagious. He tried to project confidence, but the Broadway encounter had shaken him to his core. Meeting. Lights dimming, slide presentation blurring. Robert's question, a relentless loop in his mind. Better than me? His turn to present. He stood, the power pose faltering. Voice shaking, words jumbled, the presentation unraveling. Silence in the room, heavy with executive disappointment. A director, concern etched on his face, cut in. "Jake, you okay?" Sincerity, it amplified Jake's inadequacy. Presentation a disaster. Shame burned. He fled to his office, locked the door, reeling. Emotions, long suppressed, surged, lost, unsure, his carefully crafted image shattered. Robert's gaze, his question, haunted him. Vulnerability, raw and unwelcome. A seed of empathy, a foreign feeling sprouted for the old man he'd tormented. Maybe there was more to life than deals and dollars. Evening fell. Jake left the office, shoulders slumped, steps dragging. Broadway, usually a vibrant artery, felt muted, somber. The Wall Street swagger gone, replaced by uncertainty. He approached the corner, eyes drawn to Robert's usual spot. There. Same calm, same gaze. But something shifted in Jake. No disdain, no superiority, a strange connection, silent exchange. Words of scorn died in his throat. Robert, sensing the change, offered a small, knowing smile. "Evening," Robert said, voice rough, but warm. Jake, still reeling, just nodded, speechless. Robert observed him. "You seem different today." No sarcasm, curiosity, a hint of concern. Jake, unmoored, felt exposed. "Tough day," he admitted, voice low, a confession. Nothing went right. Robert's gaze steady, understanding. Life tests us, throws challenges to teach us something. Wisdom etched deep. Jake, the tormentor, questioned his own cruelty. Who was he to judge? He knew nothing of anyone's real struggle. Robert continued, seeing Jake's doubt. "Everyone has a story, a journey. True strength is accepting weakness, learning from it." Words hung in the air, sinking deep. Jake walked away, thoughts churning, heart heavy. Something was changing, but he was lost in the shift. Broadway lights blurred. Tomorrow, Broadway, Robert again. But different now. That night, sleep elusive. Robert's words, a persistent hum. Lessons life teaches. What lessons? Workday disaster, Robert's gaze, tangled emotions. Lying in his penthouse bed, childhood memories surfaced. Success. He'd always taken credit, pure ambition. But his parents, working class, sacrificing, pushing him forward. Their humanity, unwavering despite hardship. Had he, chasing success, forgotten that? Robert, quiet dignities, wisdom. He'd awakened something. Maybe he wasn't so different from Robert after all. Window, city lights sprawling, vast. He felt small, humble, an unfamiliar feeling, a welcome shift. Morning, a new resolve. He needed to understand Robert, his life, his dignity in the face of daily humiliation. What did Robert know? Leaving the penthouse, a different perspective. People on the streets, not just background noise. Stories, struggles, Broadway corner. Robert, empathy, not disdain. Curiosity, desire to understand. "Can I sit down?" Respect in his voice, genuine. Robert looked up, surprised. A faint smile, a nod. Jake sat, asphalt cold, uncomfortable, unnoticed, something shifting inside. Robert, a catalyst, a path to understanding life, himself. Days blurred into conversations. Broadway bench, unexpected bond. Robert, not just homeless. A life, a story, deeper, darker than imagined. One afternoon, Robert opened up. Past glory, then shattering loss. Family, career, all gone. Lessons learned in the wreckage. "Used to run a company," Robert said, sadness in his eyes. "Thought success was money, power, lost it all. Life can always deal a harsher blow. Jake, stunned. Robert, like him, luxury penthouse versus Broadway sidewalk. Surreal. Robert's story, loss, but also resilience. True wealth, Robert said, not things. Peace, purpose, even in hardship. Words pierced Jake's Wall Street armor, meaning beyond money. Robert, a living lesson, a mystery. Jake dug into Robert's past, company records, old articles, whispers from the past, connections, surprising links to his own life, possibilities, a new purpose forming, understanding Robert, understanding himself. Jake became consumed. Robert, the connection, old files, company archives, hushed conversations. He unearthed a newspaper article, a corporate gala. Robert, sharp suit, confident smile. Jake recognized the event. Years ago, his early career days. Then, next to Robert, a man, his mentor. The mentor who'd given him his first real break. The mentor who'd casually mentioned a business partner struggling, lost everything. Robert. Driven, Jake tracked down the mentor, now retired, countryside peace. Nervous, anticipation thrumming, Jake requested a meeting. The mentor, gray hair, gentle eyes, recognition, surprise. Robert's story. You're interested? Sadness laced his voice. One of my best friends, partners, like a brother. Tragedy. The mentor recounted Robert's downfall, deeper than Jake knew. Family loss, career implosion, injustices, despair. The mentor spoke of Robert's quiet struggle, his descent. Each word a blow to Jake. Robert's story, his own life intertwined unexpectedly, profoundly. Robert, once successful, a model. Now, Broadway. Jake's understanding of success, failure, shattered. This man, now on the streets, once held power. Respect shook him. Heart heavy, mind racing, Jake returned to the city. More to learn. Connection deeper, darker than imagined. He needed to talk to Robert. His actions, had they contributed? Regret and determination warred. Broadway corner, Robert. Connection, heavy, a dark cloud. Overcast sky mirroring his turmoil. Slow steps, heavy revelations. Robert. Same spot. Calm, observing. Something shifted in Jake, heart racing, courage, finally, voice shaky. I need to talk. Discovered something, can't ignore it. Lump in his throat. Robert, surprise, mild concern, gentle gesture. Sit. Calm, welcoming. Jake sat on the cold concrete. Your past, newspaper photo, partner, my mentor. Robert, steady gaze, listening, expression mixed surprise, understanding. Silence, charged. Robert seemed to have expected this. Calm, curious. What does it mean to you? Jake, trembling. No idea. You were like me. Thought homeless. Never tried. Wanted it. Never imagined suffering. Humiliated you, judged you, instead of understanding, helping. Robert's eyes, deep understanding. Jake finished, breathless. Life has ironies, Robert said. Paths we don't understand. Learning, growing, that matters. Words resonated. Jake's actions, impact on someone you real. Weight of choices, reflection. Robert shared more. Losses, overcoming, unexpected kindnesses. Pain, beauty, intertwined. Jake listened intently. Resilience, humanity, his worldview shifting. Meaning beyond finance. Robert's story, questioning everything. Connection deepening. Transformation, not just regret. Desire to do something. Correct the past. Possibilities for the future. Weeks of deep talks. Broadway bench mentor sessions. Robert shared a dream. Project to help others. Purpose from hardship. Tears in Jake's eyes. He could help. Shelter, community center, more than refuge. Second chances, rebuild lives. Jake threw himself into it. Time, money, architects, fundraising, influential people. Generosity, empathy, transformative. Robert watched. Surprise, gratitude. Project, opportunity, but also Jake's change. Seeking atonement, finding purpose. Project advanced. Challenges, practical, emotional. Shelters, community centers, listening to stories. Eyes opened. True meaning of helping. Project important, but small actions, kindness, decisions. Bigger impact. Construction hurdles, financial, logistical. Determination tested, intentions questioned, steadfast, doing something real, project nearing completion, transformation beyond bricks and mortar, empathy, understanding, deeper connection. Inauguration day approaching, important. Robert, beneficiaries himself. Inauguration day, Broadway, banners, balloons, crowd, dream realized. Jake, mature, nervous, hopeful. Robert, beside him, satisfied smile. Robert, inspiration, teacher, now center stage. Resilience, transformation, embodied. Jake stepped onto the stage. Attentive crowd, speech began. Thanks, contributors. Then, personal, emotional. Started this unsure what I sought. Robert, his story, a deeper meaning, voice trembling. Challenges, life tests us, how we respond. That's what matters. Looked at Robert, gratitude. Robert showed me true wealth, not money, status, facing life's blows. Community-centered, not just a building, like new way of seeing, connecting. Emotion surged, voice paused, breath deep. Beacon of hope. Second chances, we all have power to make a difference, wherever we start. Applause, fulfillment, peace. Robert moved, tears of gratitude. Transformation witnessed, dream realized. Event a success, impact, community centers meaning. Change possible, hope flourishing. End of day, Jake, Robert, silent, center activity. Simple space transformed. Internal change. You did it, Robert, tears. More than building, you built a future. Jake smiled. We did it together, just the beginning. Could do more for Robert. Offer. Join my company. Important role. New chance, rebuild life. No more hardship, humiliation. Second chance, like the center offered. Walking away, Jake reflected. Lesson learned. Deep connection, true meaning of life. Redemption, not just regret. Turning experience into something good, making a difference. Every encounter, challenge, kindness. Greater humanity, hope. What we do with lessons defines who we are.